Okay, in this video, I did everything except the bass. I hired the bass player, and I did the backup vocals, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, everything. So, it goes something like, this. Now, this track here, I took out the lead vocals, so I could sing the lead vocals. Something like, blood, His death, His love, His word, His blood, His death, His love is all I need. His words make me wise. Blood washed my sin, His death saved my life. Love is all I need. His words make me wise. Blood washed my sin, His death saved my life. Now it happened long ago in a place called heaven. An angel named Satan wanted more than God gave him, so they had a big battle right there at God's turf. Michael got his army and he kicked him down to earth. Then God created Adam and a woman named Eve. Read about an apple and a snake in a tree. Cain killed Abel and you reap what you sow. Kept the seed alive till it got to Noah. But then it started raining. They all got on a boat. Water covered earth, and all they did was float. The ark came to rest, so they sacrificed a bird, and they multiplied the people, and they multiplied the herd. In a place called Babel, the people built a tower. Dark a piece of language has to weaken the power. Kept the seed alive, so we wouldn't be damned, till it rested in a prophet named Abraham. Now with him he made a promise that his people will be blessed, and what he still didn't know is that he had to pass a test. Take your son, sacrifice him to me. Test his faith and to see if he believes. So he bound up his hands, lifted up his knife. God called out, saved his life. Said, Abraham, my son, don't kill that boy. So now we told his son, gave God much joy. So Isaac grew up, gave his father much wonder. Conquer man and kings, you get a tenth of the plunder. Isaac had a son and gave his father much pride. And Jacob was the father of Israel's tribe. Joseph was his favorite, the apple of his eye. So his brothers told him do. Some people passing by. He ended up Egypt working for this guy, but his wife couldn't do him. She wanted him to die, so they put him in prison with the baker and the bear. Interpret their dreams and it made one scared. The bear went back and the baker lost his head. They knew it was exactly what Joseph had said. Then the bear had a dream. No one understood. He asked everybody in the whole neighborhood. The bear thought of Joseph, who was still in prison, and they brought him into Pharaoh. He said, now listen, you got 7 years of good, 7 years of drought. You gotta save from the plenty, cause you're gonna run out. Pharaoh knew this was right, so they made him a ruler over all of Egypt, so the life would be cooler. Joseph was blessed with the will of the Lord. Everything he did, the people adored. Then came the famine and there was no rain, and the brothers came to town so they could buy some grain. Jacob and the youngest one, the one called Ben, he was afraid that it would happen again. Joseph cried, spies, go back again. Get Ben, come back, and then Simeon will live, but they didn't know why. Didn't recognize the man that was the apple of the father's eye. Joe said, look, come closer to me. I'm the brother that you sold into slavery. They cried many tears, gave Lord praise, got the many blessings they were promised in the early days. But many years later they were driven in bondage. Cried to the Lord to give them knowledge of the man that would come and set them free from the heavy yoke of the ruler Ramses. Moses was spared the death of the infants, recognized the problem of his very own descendants. He was cast in the desert when he could be purged. He could be the one to fulfill God's word. He said, Moses, my son, go back unto Egypt. Hear the cries. It's not the way I'll leave him. He did many wonders right from the start, but Pharaoh didn't care. God hardened his heart. But after the death of the Pharaoh's son, let the people leave with the chosen one. But he didn't give up. Nope, wouldn't let it be. Chased him right through the part the Red Sea. Then the water came down to Pharaoh and his horse. Paid the big price for doubting God's force. They wandered through the desert for 40 years. For the next generation he would drive their tears and conquer 31 kings. 7 nations inherit the land with the God of creation. A young shepherd boy with the rock in a sling killed a giant and became their king. David was wise, so was Solomon. John the Baptist cleared the way for the Holy One. Mary conceived a child in the Spirit. Joseph was mad because they hadn't been married yet. And angels told Joseph about the son of the Messiah. Tar she carried with the Holy Messiah. Star appeared to glorify him, and Jesus was born in a town called Bethlehem. He grew up strong and he grew up wise. As a young boy, he pleased God's eyes. He answered every question and he had great knowledge, though he never went to school and he never went to college. So word spread quickly all over the land about a young man with a healing hand. He healed the sick, healed the blind, walked on water. He was humble and kind. And though he never sinned, the high priest plotted to have him killed so his name would be blotted. The pilot had no reason, so he washed his hands. Gave the crowd a choice between the killer and the Son of Man. They beat him with sticks, crowned him with thorns, nailed him to the cross, and the people mourned. But 3 days later, he raised from the dead, and the people that knew him remember what he said. Sacrifice himself, take our sins, so that we can be with him again for 1,000 years of peace. And then in heaven and throughout eternity, his love, we will dwell in his love, his word, his blood, his death, his love, his word, his blood, his death. Love is all I need. His words make me wise. Blood washed my sin, and death saved my life. His love is all I need. His words make me wise. Blood washed my sin, and death saved my life. His love.